You're very welcome to the Friends and Family Show, another exciting episode. You know, on this show, we show you all the emotions, we bring you all the light, let you know if we're here to cry or we're here to smile, or usually it's solely entertainment. You're very welcome today. And today, what we're talking about, I know that you can relate. Is it that you're moving out of your daddy's house, your parents' house, you're renting, or you're just like, let's talk about the rent issues today. I mean, it's a platform for you to, just bring everything out. We're talking about rent. I know that she really has some experiences. Now, let's do this. You can be part of the show. Send me a message via WhatsApp on the number 020-444-7033. That is 020-444-7033. Don't forget to add your name and location, all right? On this show, you get to be part of it, because it's very interactive. My super special name is Noyo Kwote. You can find me on Instagram at na_oyo_Kwote. And when you find me, don't forget to hit the like and the follow button. Let's go on a ride. I'll take a breather. When I'm back, we're talking rent today.
Where politics meets power, where the tough questions are asked. Welcome to Face to Face. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadou as he takes you face to face with the key players shaping the future of our nation.
I lost over $10 million at the trade fair.
You had a fight with the management of trade fair?
I don't have a fight with them. I just deplore the way they went about what they did.
Let's talk about the chief prosecutor of the state at the time that you were being prosecuted, Godfrey Yeboah Dame, the Attorney General.
Yes. I think he was directed to jail us.
By who?
By the system.
Boko has been a failure for your government, though.
Can't be a failure.
You have not solved it.
No, you are not praising them, the previous government for solving it, which was even a more difficult case.
It's quite obvious that from these votes, the people felt that let's just let you go.
So they were disappointed
in us.
You are essentially the worst government in the Fourth Republic.
I don't know how you are doing that. Based on the indicators.
Yes, based on the number of people who refuse to come and vote for you.
If that is your analysis, then why not?
No filter, no boundaries, just the truth behind the headlines. Deep, bold, and unflinching. Face to Face with Umaru Sanda Amadou airs on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV, where politics gets real.
Welcome back to the Friends and Family Show, coming to you live on Channel 1 TV. We're coming to you from our studios here at number 5 Ola Hansen Lane in Tessano. My name is Noyo Kwote. We're bringing another episode of an entertainment conversation, okay? And we're talking renting and moving out of your parents' house. I bet that we've all had at some point, I don't know why, but for me, I haven't rented before. Yeah, I moved straight from my father's house to my husband's house. So that's why if you ask me, I can talk about it. But I really need us to talk about renting, because I've seen lots of people post about it. Probably you live in an environment that you don't really like, but the rent is cool, so you have to take it. And then what is influencing your moving out of your parents' house? Because I think that that's the best place to be. Because you're not paying rent, you're not paying electricity, you're not paying water. You're actually not paying for food sometimes. Because when the food is ready, they put it on the table, that you have it. What is actually asking you or chasing you to move out of your father's house? Hello? Why can't you stay there? So today we're getting into this conversation. I know that you have reasons for moving out and then probably reasons for choosing certain areas that you live in. So let's get into that conversation. All right, darling. Now here's what. I have 3 wonderful guests in the studio today. It's going to help me have this conversation. To my right, I have Inogja.
That's right.
Did I get the last name correct?
You actually did.
Inogja. Oh, it's Ja.
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 Yeah.
But you see, the first I didn't get to say.
But it's
the same.
most people actually say za.
But it's Ja.
Yeah, it's ja.
Mom 5. You know, Ja is a chartered accountant, right?
That's right.
How's that coming along?
I mean, it's been fantastic.
Hey.
I mean, one of my best decisions.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
You tell me about it. It has
Most
to do with money.
definitely. Obviously.
Money is
Obviously.
money.
Yeah.
Anything money I like. And then I have Esther Mahama. The name Mahama lately, dear, it carries weight. It carries weight. You're very welcome, darling. I like your outfit as well.
Thank you so much.
And then you're an entrepreneur, right?
Yes,
Charlie, it's not easy being an entrepreneur.
Not easy.
You can go mad. 5 years. They say 5 years. After 5 years, if you're not making money, close down. Or it's not. Or you make the money after 5 years.
Sometimes you make the money after
5
5
so
years.
you wait
yes,
small.
Yes,
Okay.
you wait.
Okay.
You don't give up.
You don't give up.
Yeah.
And then I have another entrepreneur. It looks like today, Daniel Quinn was actually a student in my class on Brunch in the City on Radio. Woohoo! But you still have to defend the answer you gave me this morning, tomorrow morning.
I'll do that.
Yeah, otherwise I'll mark you wrong. You're very welcome. So now let's talk about, renting, housing, living with parents. First off, who even decides when you should move out of your father's house? At what point? Are your parents the one that say, hey, what's not hatchet this thing? Or you think that now I want my privacy. I think usually we say privacy.
Yeah.
When we are doing two no small, we come from uni small, we get small money. And say, I need my privacy because the girl that has to come and visit me, no matter that, you get. But who actually makes the decision? Now let's talk about that. Who decides at what point you should move out of your father's house?
I personally believe that it comes from both sides. Sometimes
You
your parents,
and then your parents.
other times your parents,
Okay.
because at the end of the day, your parents want you to be comfortable and independent, and most of the time they are pushing you to get married, they are pushing you to probably have children and all those things. Like, Charlie, you have to leave my house, kind of. You can't be here all the time. So yeah, your parents and yourself have a major role to play in that.
You think so, Esther?
Well, yeah, to an extent. For me, I had to move away from my parents. I grew up in Kumasi. So I lived in Kumasi till 2017, and I had to move here for national service. If it wasn't because of that, I'm sure I would have stayed with my parents.
Right.
But yeah, I just had to come because of work.
And you did not go back. I think that's what I said. Just 1 year.
You can go back, right?
Hey,
And
you
I'm
said,
like,
I'll
well,
cry with you.
yeah, let me just stay here.
Nice. You?
I think I agree more with Esther. Situation will make you decide to leave or stay.
It's a situation I want to know.
Yeah,
What kind of
so,
situation?
Okay, so like in your case, you moved when you were getting married.
Yeah.
So for me, I moved when I was going out for my national service. For another person, it's the privacy, it's the personal space they want to keep for themselves.
Who's that? Who's got personal space?
That's one of your class, one of your students.
Personal space.
Yes.
No, his name is No Space.
Yeah. So it's the situation that would determine as and when to move
Right.
out. Yeah.
But you think that is it because people move out of your parents' house, or probably let me say that use that as like a comfort zone? Do people actually move out of your parents' house because of due to pressure, or they just want to go out?
Personally, no, I moved out not because of pressure. I wanted to move out because
So
I just wanted
what was
to.
behind the wanted to move out?
So there's a bit of privacy there. There's a
So you
bit
say I
of-
didn't lie?
No, there's no lie there. There's a bit of independence there. I feel like you are restricted in so many ways, right?
In your father's house?
Oh yeah, I mean, come on.
Hey.
There are certain things, there are certain things you can do. Not the
What is the
illicit
certain
things.
things?
I mean,
No, today we're putting everything on the
oh yeah,
table.
most
So
definitely.
don't put corners.
So
Lay everything on the table.
I have a friend. This is not me.
It's you.
It's not me. It's not me.
You start making examples and you someone.
No,
What's your friend's name?
It's not me. She's called Mousy.
Is it she?
Yeah.
Mousy who? What?
Yeah.
Well, please, we're looking for Mousy.
I mean, currently my wife anyway.
Hey.
So
And then you say your friend. I have a
no,
friend.
I had a friend. Currently my wife.
She was
So
our friend.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and They have to be home by a certain time.
Curfew.
Yes. So
my people,
you may not want to go out to do anything illicit, but your parents want you home by a certain time. So if your metal is having a program at the stadium, you want to be there.
But that's the only thing you have to do is ask permission, no? Or it depends on the parents' setting.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So if they are very strict, they may think that they may do other things, although they trust you. But I mean, they are always careful. Yeah. So
I see.
Yeah. Sometimes those things.
So continue.
Yeah. So I believe that those are some of the reasons why we want to move out of our parents' house. And personally, I wanted the independent, and it was just when I was about getting married, because at the end of the day, I wanted to experience living alone for some time before getting married. So I needed to actually move before getting married.
Usually when it comes to the men, it's quite easy. But the women, they say no. It's hard for women to move out alone because you're being tagged in a different way. Like, you know, either you're a spoiled child, you're out to do things on your own. But sometimes too, that's not it. Society is just like, you know, trying to be a little bit harsh on us. We want our freedom, but how can you be saying that you want to?
But society is actually not being hard on you.
Well,
it's trying to be fair to you.
Fair to us, that's what has happened.
Come on, society is trying to be fair to you ladies.
How?
More than
by
you guys.
Telling us that we should stay at home. We can't move out.
They want to help you to save your monies instead of spending it, you know. Don't forget that once you move, you are going to spend a lot. Which most of us don't anticipate. We think it's quite easy until we enter and realize the challenge.
But you are not spending your money.
I am. But you know,
but it's not the same.
At the end of the day, the assumption is that the men will probably, even if you have to get married, you spend, right? You rent, you pay the rent. Maybe the lady may not spend or rent, but we are getting used to.
I agree. I agree to some extent.
So, yeah.
And again, society actually, you know, has the whole thing as well. A girl who's living alone is, you know, like that.
Oh, yeah.
You don't get, you're not too safe security-wise. I agree. I didn't get the chance to actually do that. Like I said in my intro, like I actually moved straight from my father's house into my husband's house. So the renting part, you know,
you didn't experience it.
To me, you get.
That's why we are here, you know. So don't worry, we'll compliment you.
Yeah. So I want to know why people actually move out. For me, I enjoyed living in my father's house because I wasn't paying anything. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
Then,
you know.
Aside getting married and probably the national service, why did you really move? I want to know, because I just spoke about, say, national service.
Yeah.
You were done with service.
Okay, so where did you have your national service?
Right?
Out of Accra?
Yeah, out of Accra.
You're not those who changed theirs.
No.
So what you got is what you went to do, right?
Exactly. But even if I was in Accra by then, after uni, I would have pushed to go out.
Why is that?
So because I had to share my room with my other siblings, you know. There were a lot of rules in the house. The house had only 2 keys, one with my mom, one with my dad.
Okay.
And then they had a time they go to bed, and so immediately they enter their bedroom.
Lock
and
down.
You're out of the house. You're out.
Thank you.
Go and find somewhere to sleep.
Yes, but you're living under somebody else's roof. You want to do things by yourself.
See, I like sports. I like football, and at that time we didn't have DSTV at home. And
so buy it.
Well, I didn't have the money by then. National service boy with
National service boy paying you. National service was 1 year.
And I think 275 cities. It couldn't have been paid for the DSTV.
Sorry.
So I would want to go out at night, you know, play with the boys, watch football, and come back late, like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. And because the kids were 2 and they were with daddy and mommy, I still had to stay back.
And they come home early.
Oh yes, 8:30 they are in their bedroom.
Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, very interesting. What about you? Now let's talk about your moving from Kumasi to Accra.
Yeah. So I had sisters living in Accra. I think they motivated me to come to Accra. I thought it was a good decision because I lived with my parents all my life.
What kind of influence is that? What kind of, like to come and treat Spedede in Accra?
Oh, to come and live in Accra, you know.
Why are you laughing? It's a legit question.
To come and live in Accra.
What's Spedede?
Treat Spedede. You don't know Treat Spedede.
Tell us.
Have fun.
Yeah,
No, but I think Kumasi is fun too. So
what? Kumasi is fun. But maybe some kind of different fun. Okay. Because I think that the whole location actually affects the kind of things that people like. Accra kind of say for the popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know that we have extreme for the popping in Kumasi, but we pop a lot in Accra. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Pop
I didn't
champagne.
come for the popping though.
Okay.
So they advised me, my parents are strict, overprotective. So they felt that too much of the love would make me stay in my comfort zone and not push to do certain things.
Right.
You get it? So I thought that was very true. So I decided to move. But
So moving was the option?
Well, I told my father about it. And because my sisters also moved at a point,
so
he understood.
Right.
He didn't like it. He thought I would stay with one of my sisters. He thought that was a better option. That was my plan too. But I got here and I'm like, I can have my place too, because my sister also had a family. I'm like, they need their space. I also need my space.
So at what age? At what age
I think
are you talking
I was 22. Almost 22. Yeah.
Okay. 22.
Almost 22.
Hey,
yeah.
That's a lot.
Honestly, I keep telling most of my friends that I was a bit naive. Like I grew up, I was a bit naive to some point. You know, like even as at 25, 26, when my friends were all hooked on, I have a boyfriend, we're getting married. My mind no did there, sister. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Daddy and mommy's girl.
You know, so when people at 27, people were still like, my mind was not up to like all of that. Like I was just enjoying the ride, you see. Yeah. So I hardly 22, you're on your own.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Well, shout out to Apioko. Apioko said she moved out at 19.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's brave.
Actually, because I mean, you see, I think it has its pros and cons. Because 19, a lot of terrible.
That's brave.
Actually, because I mean, you see, I think it has a lot of terrible things are.
Hey, but hard teenager.
Yeah. Criminal.
For school.
That's a different scenario.
Yeah, I think that's her scenario.
Okay, so then
But
in that case,
that's much more difficult because you go to a whole different place
where you have no support system, you have nobody actually.
It's true.
But, I mean, shout out to her.
What if a 19-year-old moves from another country to Ghana to school?
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So if that person can live comfortably in Ghana, then any other person can also move out at 19.
Yeah. I didn't experience all of these.
I also moved out. I moved out around 18, 19 years.
Oh, really?
Yes, when I was going to uni.
Okay.
So after uni, I never came back home.
Oh, wow.
So let's say, okay, so you were out. So you were on campus.
So first year I was on campus, second year I rented a space out.
So but you were out
campus.
of house, your house.
Yeah.
Me to me, yo.
Oh,
Also, I didn't opt for being in any hostel.
You at home?
I would drive from home to my school.
You're kidding me.
I can't do like that.
Then you didn't experience uni.
It's okay. It's okay. Who is that?
Come on.
They said, no, the thing, I had a problem with lights, sleeping with lights. I actually thought of, like, I took the same thing from secondary school. I had a tough time in secondary school.
Yeah.
You know, you're in the boarding house and then people can't sleep with the lights off. Or people actually, like, have their own times. They go like, oh, the lights must stay off. And I am a genius, and I have to sleep. I can't sleep with the lights on. And we are sharing the same room. I thought of it in uni as well. But I can't do
but at the end of the day, you are going to get to compromise because life is all about compromising.
I live in my comfort zone. I beg you. So because of that, I thought
one in a room.
One
that's also an option.
Okay, I never thought about that. Okay. One in a room, people are still running on the corridors, making noise. I can't do that. People cannot be my space like that. Now let's talk about parents' reactions when you decided to move out. Did you actually go to your parents, sit them down to say, Daddy, now I'm of age, I think I should move out? And how did they react?
So personally, I think I was old enough. I was
at what age?
Past my mid 20s.
Okay.
So I really didn't have to do the sit them down and talk to them. I just kind of said I want to move.
In whose house?
I want to move, right? At the end of the day, I'm not going to ask you for my rent, right?
Okay. They didn't ask you to how you're going to finance that?
I mean, I was working, so they knew I was comfortable enough to move. So it was way easier in the conversation. They just, the concern was where you were going and how the place was like. So once where I was going was comfortable, everything was okay, good. I mean, so it's more or less like, will you be comfortable? Will you be okay? And I think the toughest part, or the thing that made it easier for my mom to actually say, I think you can go, was I love cooking. And I'm not going to be like, I'll go out, buy every time here and there, right? So I think some of those things actually make it, it made it easy for me to actually move out of the house. So it was smooth for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, for me, my sisters did that for me. They actually spoke to my parents, so I really didn't have a tough time dealing with that. So mine was very smooth.
Interesting.
Really? Yours too?
I was already out there.
You born first. Yours was born for you. Lifestyle first before.
So my mom had to come inspect the
place,
the space I was going to rent initially. Okay. She declined that she didn't want me to stay there, even though it was much cheaper than. So she was concerned about the space I was going to live in. But I was out there already. I had lived at worse place than that. But she didn't know about that, because on campus it's just some few steps away from campus. I got some cubicle, small one like that, and I was comfortable there. Yeah. But when she got to know I was actually going to rent a space for myself, she wanted to be sure the neighborhood and all of that.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so that's taking me to my next question. Let's talk about your very first place. Was that bad? What was the experience? Did you like it? What happened when you had to move? What's actually influenced you to, move out of the place? If you liked this and you stayed, how long did you stay? Anyone can take it.
Okay, so my first place, I just thought it was okay, not extraordinary. And
remember
not
the
that
name of the
bad.
area?
Somewhere, it's called Beijing. It's around Adrengano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Straight to LA.
not
No. It's so going East Legon, right?
Oh, we're not talking about that. Auntie.
The way you are saying
is it there's where you went to stay?
But you didn't say there's no go.
You just said straight to.
I mean,
and he said Pechepe. So that actually meant that you
But
thought it was
where
that
did you go?
I went to Beijing.
Wonderful.
It wasn't posh. It wasn't bad.
It wasn't the slum, is it?
Yeah. Well,
per the definition of slum, per the definition of slum,
that area cannot be.
You think so?
Yeah. So per the definition of slum, I learned on the CBS today.
Hey.
One shall be only in Islam. So
I'm
telling you.
I mean, man.
Yeah, good students. All right, so tell us about it.
Okay, so I just thought it was okay. It was a single room, self-contained. It didn't have a kitchen, but then I was just okay because we had tried so many months to get a place, and then we weren't getting. So finally, when I had that place, I didn't even want to think about it. I just said, okay, I'll take it, and then I went.
So you had to improvise.
Yeah.
You divide the room to do kitchen.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is when life started setting in for me.
It's the way you are giving the vivid description of the place.
That's just what you have to do with a room like that.
I know. I mean, but being in a uni, most of the time, you are used to some of those settings.
Exactly.
I mean, you're in the room.
Wonderful.
You already have kitchen inside the room at some point. So.
The kitchen is the rice cooker.
Charlie, you see that thing?
Wow. Let's go.
Okay, so after I got in, that was when
the shock.
So I started thinking,
After how many months?
I
just wanted someone
week.
Oh,
the second week. I actually thought, did I make the right decision? Should I have moved? Should I have stayed with my sister? I think life started hitting me. I think I wasn't prepared at all for some of the things that I experienced.
Buying water, you buy salt, buy tomatoes.
Prior to moving here, I didn't know anything about renting. I lived in Kumasi with my parents, in my parents' house, so I didn't know anything about renting. So, those first few months, life really hits me.
That's right. That's time. What about you?
I mean, I'm still there. So, I mean, I think it was a big space. I could use barely one room. The living room was there. The other room wasn't even utilized, right? And it was along the Bottoman stretch. And it's quite okay. And one of the main reasons why I like that area is because of access to literally every area. You use in front of the new stadium, right? The stadium. Then you are all the way through to Achale Boutre. you are all the way through to Medina or East Legon, right? You can join the motorway and then you are in Accra, right? You can use the underbridge, come to the other side of the motorway. You are in Spintex or you are in Tema. Right. I think the access to the area is fantastic. Oh, and thanks to the new road that they created over there, right? It made it so easy. But then, the one challenge that I have about the area is when it rains, some of the places, you see, it's more or less like the drainage system is terrible. So most of the roads actually is more like the passage for the water. So when it's raining, it's dangerous to drive. Right. The water floods the road, and until it's really down, it's too dangerous for you to use the road. So aside that, I think it's been an amazing area so far, and it's been good. Yeah. And good thing is I was the first occupant. Exactly. Wow. It was just completed, so it was a nice place. Yeah, nice place.
So you're still there? Hey, I haven't moved
anyway. I haven't moved yet.
How long?
It's been like 3 years. Yeah.
Right. Antina, they don't have experiences.
They don't have. They don't have that. Let's go.
Let's go.
He has just done one place.
Tijana, the first place I go, I was advised by the agency that that area no. You rent time in Kyoto. Rainy time, you know, the rainy season is when you rent the space. That's when you're sure that's the area will not flood
area.
So you see, and then you also inspect the property at night.
Why is that? If there's electricity?
Of course. to be sure that the neighborhood is safe. You know, at night, moving around and all of that, and so I think you don't have experience.
Wow! Okay, so you have moved. How many times have you moved?
Okay, so I have lived with my parents for 23 years straight. Okay. Then I did living by myself.
Let's take uni out. Let's take uni out.
Yeah. Okay, uni out, 3 years.
Okay.
And then I came back again.
To your parents' house?
Yes, my parents' house.
And
then, okay, so because of the space I work in, I put numbers to every, you know. So my parents had their home, had the concrete slab on top, and so I moved up there and put up something for myself. So so it's kind of out in out, you know. Yeah. So I still live with my parents.
That's because you're up there. And I'm up. That's because you made the top.
Yes.
So it'd be like draw.
So you know the parents.
No. So it's because of the space I work in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're the parents.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I envy you.
I've paid rent I only did for I think 3 years.
Oh wow. Like out of uni.
Out of uni.
And then you paid
3 years.
Right.
And even that it was because 1 year was far away in Kumasi. Right after uni, after service, I got some back like that in Kumasi. So I had to stay for another year, came back for 2 years, and then
went back.
Right. So I'll come back to my next question, and we're going to talk about the cost of renting in this country.
Yeah.
It's actually blown a lot of people's minds. I've seen people comment about it a lot on social media, and I know that it's very draining, sometimes very heartbreaking. I'll take a breather. You're still on the Friends and Family Show. I'll be right back.
How do you keep thieves out of your house? You get a dog. How do you keep hunger out of your belly? You eat food. How do you keep sand out of your room? You sweep it out. How do you keep unwanted roaches, ants, and mosquitoes out of your house? You use Out multi-purpose insecticide spray and coils formulated with enough power to kill and drive pesky insects out of your house. Out multi-purpose insecticide and coils. Secure protection from pets. Get out. Out mosquito spray and coil. Sawuya boa. Faha. This advert is FDA approved.
When the stars come out, Ghana Weekend turns up the lights. From the hottest red carpet moments to the wildest after parties. And for all your celebrations, anniversaries, and unforgettable moments, if it's happening, we're there. First, fast, and fabulously. Your front row pass to Ghana's A-list lifestyle is just a click or a channel away. GhanaWeekend.com and Ghana Weekend TV, where fame meets the fans. Promote your next big event with us, because when you party with the stars, the whole nation of black stars should know. Visit GhanaWeekend.com, watch and subscribe to Ghana Weekend TV on YouTube. Stay connected with us across all platforms. Follow us on Instagram with the handle at GhanaWeekend.com, on X at Ghana Weekend, on TikTok, Ghana Weekend, and on Facebook at Ghana Weekend. Join the Ghana Weekend family today. Ghana Weekend, all access, all glam, all yours.
All right, welcome back to the Friends and Family Show. You're very welcome if you just tuned in. And we're talking about renting, housing, and moving out of your parents' home. How has it been for you? Have you moved? How long have you been out of your parents' house? I still don't understand how people are moving out of their parents' house that early. Yeah, I don't understand. Because I don't know if it's just entitlement or anything. I feel like, no, I need to be here. Like, why are you pushing me out of the house? Like, say, where make I go? Yeah, but then if you had the chance to move out really early, I'd want for you to share that experience with me. And then we're talking about rent as well. In this country, I see lots of people talk about rent and how comparing it to probably in America and the UK, how it's been paid off and all of that. But in Ghana here to say, 2 years advance, cash. 5 years advance, cash. How is that? You know, and then you think about it with somebody, a very young person who's just started working, and then you have to cough out, like, let's say, 72,000 or some amount of money, because they are not taking it bit by bit. At least if you come from uni fresh like that, and you say you're paying 2 months or 3 months, you know, at least you can, yeah, then you know that the money is coming up. But taking that amount of money cash, where am I getting it from, sir? That's the trouble. So I'm going to talk about the cost of renting, and then we'll move on from there. But Charlie, that is actually breaking people's backs in town. You know, you're probably from somewhere that you think that you can get, you know, a little bit of security, move to a very comfortable place, and then the next thing that's hitting you is the amount of money you're paying to rent this place. And sometimes these spaces are not like, you know, all that, but they say, to me, Tianye. Hello. Thank you. Jepo. Now let's talk about rent and payments. The things you guys have been through. So, and what's the highest amount of money that you have paid for rent?
So currently, say 2,000
a month.
Yeah.
Okay, and then these people are taking like 2 years advance or 5 years advance.
No. So my landlady actually is so cool. She takes a year.
A year.
Yeah, and
but I don't know about the laws in this country. So I know it's supposed to be like 6 months.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
But they tell you that go and collect the house from the people who say 6 months.
Yeah. Exactly. But I think that it's sometimes it's the agent, right? They kind of tell the landladies and the landlords that why I don't know, but if you are like 1 year, right? They ask you to take more than a year. They ask you to take a lot of money. No, it's not for them, but what happens is the more or the higher the amount you pay, the higher their commission.
They get it,
right? So they want to make sure that they are getting a good amount of money from there. So I think that's how all those things coming, because I mean they would, I'm sure a lot of landlords could even let their house or homes out for even cheaper amount of rent, but these same agents, a number of them, not all of them, I don't think that's go all the way to
influence me a lot. If the house is for me,
of course. But not everybody.
But anyway,
like
they are going to bring you the clients.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I think that's how some of these things also impact the cost of renting in Ghana. Yeah.
Right. So how much were you paying when you first moved in?
When I first moved in, I paid $250 but for 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and at that
that's
point,
a
I
lot.
didn't even have money. So I got a little bit of help. But after that, I knew that I had come to work. So nobody would want to pay rent for me again. So I had to save up to pay the rent myself. And honestly, it's
That's another
very
headache.
expensive. It's very expensive. Getting the place is not even easy. You have to deal with the agents. And sometimes if you don't take care, by the time you get a place you want to live in, you would have spent half of the rent working with
the
these agents
agents.
because they have to be going around and showing you places. And the
you're
thing
paying
is,
for it.
you are paying for it. The
Right.
thing is, you call them, you pick them up, and then you move with them. So you are paying for transport, you are paying for going to view the place, and then after you get it, you give them 10% of whatever you would pay to. And there are instances that you go to the landlords or the landladies, and they refer you to the agents. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, so rent is very, very, very costly.
That's tough.
Yeah, I've been renting for more than 4 years, so I know so much about these rent issues. And trust me, it's not easy. It's very, 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 very costly. It's very
Right.
costly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last rent I paid, I think it was 270 cedis a month.
Oh.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, it's been a while. It's been a while.
What's that?
It's been a while. That would be 2012, 13.
Right.
Thereabouts. Yes.
Because me quite have rent experience.
Oh.
How did that come about?
When did that come in?
My shop.
Oh, okay.
It's valid now.
It's valid.
Yeah, it's valid.
Yes,
Yes. It's valid.
Yeah.
Me too. Because they are taking 5 years advance.
Yeah.
5. And one month is 2,500.
Oh.
To straight to 3,500. The shop is not big like that. I want to mention his name because they pay me.
I think the shops, most of the landlords, like when they do shops, they actually like long-term leases.
Yes,
As
but
compared
the money
to-
is not.
It's not on the ground.
Yeah,
On the
so
ground.
what I'm trying to say is, how sure are you that the business I'm running is going to yield, like, let's say 3,500 in a month? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Sometimes, yeah.
sometimes for commercial properties, I advise my clients to get longer periods because you don't want a situation where the business picks up
And then
the
you have to move
landlord
out.
says, "Hey, I want to take
But
my
anytime
property."
it gets to that, the increases, no increases small. The margin is not,
Yeah.
it will hit you. The margin will actually hit you.
Yeah.
That means you have to do extra. And it's not like you're there without paying electricity. You're buying electricity. You're paying rent. You're paying water.
Yes,
And then
other utilities and-
yeah.
So I think that what's the name? Aside the entire cost thing, most landlords just outrageously just price the properties for. I think according to their needs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you want to rent it, say 3,000, because when you accumulate that 3,000
That's
for
a huge
6 years,
amount of
you
money.
can get that money to probably change your car or probably do something.
Yeah. For the
it's-
period of the
yes,
time.
and it's not fair when
It's
it
not
comes to
fair.
valuation.
To
You
build
see
more
that they
houses.
it's
not
actually more
fair.
like what I need is what I'm
I've got some
charge you.
messages. I'll
Yeah.
take them real quick. And this one here says, "Oh, happy birthday to our dear sister Manuela Jima of Kolebu Teaching Hospital and obstetrics and gynecology. God richly bless you dearly. And from your brother Eugene Ofei Ansa, founder of EOA Hearts for Kids Foundation in the family." And then this one says, "I'm Efoba from home. Well, I started renting at age 26. Even that was when I secured a job in Takoradi and was even asked to stay with an auntie, which I said no. And my father was like, no problem. But I will always go to my aunt's place to eat after work. See you." That's what I'm saying. You get good evening, guys. Renting in Accra is something. The first time I rented a house was at Banana Inn. I was ready to marry and had to move from my aunt's house. The house was well ventilated, but the landlady didn't fulfill her promise in the tenancy agreement, so I had to vacate after the expiration. She was surprised as she was waiting for the renewal to sort herself out. Now, renting a house is something that should be looked at by the government. This is from Fifi Koino and Latabioko. Hi, Fifi. Now, here's what. if you put the government in it, I think that they've come through over and over.
Yeah.
But then these landladies and landlords always say that the house is mine, it's not for the government. But I think that something needs to be done.
No, the laws are very clear on,
Yeah,
on what to do.
yeah,
But the
6 months is
implementation of the Land Act clearly spells out some of these things.
Okay.
It tells the relationship between landlords and tenants. So even goes ahead to deal with relationship with agents.
Yeah.
So these days you find agents who act as agents for both the landlord and the tenants.
Yeah.
Those things are all dealt with by the Land Act, but it's just the implementation that.
But I think it's something Ghana has been struggling with. We have a lot of issues with implementation. There are so many laws, but implementation has always been a problem. And I don't know how that is going to be possible unless the rent control people hit the ground and then catch a few culprits and make scapegoats out of some of them.
Right.
I don't think these issues are going to stop. So,
anyway, now let's talk about this. What are you grateful for living with family?
I think the support is enormous, right? I remember most of the time when I have to write an exam outside of school, outside of uni, I don't do anything. I go to work, come back, I eat, I learn, go to work, come back, eat. That's all.
Right.
When I have to wash or anything, I don't wash. My mom will find a way to get it done for me, right? And I think that support system that we get from the family system that we have in Ghana, I think it's an underrated blessing. That's
true.
one of the things that I think we really not appreciate. So
you need to add something.
Yeah. The love.
What are you grateful for? The love.
The love. So living with my parents, I think life was so easy. It was very easy.
Now you see my point.
It was very easy. Sometimes you would sleep, especially when you're not feeling well, and you have your parents checking in on you 2 to 3 times.
Yeah, but now that you're living alone, check on yourself, darling.
They may not even know you are not well.
Check on yourself, baby. Who's calling you?
Sleep, you wake up, and there is food, but living alone, it's hard.
You're the same person doing the laundry, you're doing the cleaning,
doing
you're doing the cooking. You have to, do maintenance. And all of that. Next time.
Now, for me, it's the food. Oh God. I'm grateful. Auntie Aggie, thank you very much for the beautiful meals you made for me. I wish I can come back. No, you go out, you come back, I said,
we actually take those things for granted. We take it for granted because I remember I was living with my parents, and then my mom is always the one that's thinking of what to cook. That's also a struggle.
It's a lot of work.
Especially when you have kids as well. So now I really appreciate that she went through hell because she could sit down, she's holding a pen and a paper. Then she's thinking that in the crowd,
Then she come up with something.
And then sometimes it gets to a point that she does the ballot thing. Because the whole house, so she has either rice or banku. So you come and pick one. Then there were people who have banku. Then we run around. So it was fun, with meal times. Or sometimes she say, well, anybody should suggest what they want to eat. That's what we're going to eat. And then she'll make it she'll make it happen. I really do appreciate all those times. Now I moved into my house and I say, hey, me thought of cleaning the wife. Because coming back from work alone is hell.
You're already stressed, right?
They're beating you in Accra. Then you come back and I come to think of where tomato is, where onion is, chop. I love cooking, by the way, but that stress alone, don't hang it on my neck.
I think it's some of the things, it's one of the reasons why people don't eat well. Because you end
You're
up
already tired.
whatever that's available you are eating.
Okay.
Because
lately I'm hanged on outside cocoa. I'm not gonna lie.
I bet I've been taking outside cocoa every morning for the past 2-3 weeks.
Anyway, so now did you try to get your independence while you were still living with your parents, and then I say you're there but you're paying for your own stuff? You're doing your own things. Did you ever do anything like that?
Yeah, to some extent, to provide a bit of coaching and support, right? Because you know that at the end of the day, you are not paying rent. Most of the time, they may not even ask you for anything. But then, you know that after all, you are working. You have something small. You want to show some gratitude, support. You give something small. Yeah. So that bit is there, and I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did.
Yeah.
For me, no.
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 Oh.
At all.
At all.
Mama ordered that one. Then I'm
And I was a student,
but
I liked the spark in their eyes, the excitement, the smile on their faces when you do something at home. Like I come back from town and I have a bag of rice.
Yeah.
Or I just buy bread for breakfast. You know.
Okay.
It puts some kind of
for now I'm able to do that. But when I lived with them, I was in the university.
Yeah.
There was no money.
Mind if my dad were to be alive, today is where he will catch me. It's your own money, I used to buy the bread.
How did you get his own money?
He puts it on the table.
I was thinking he gave it to you. So you stole it?
And not that I stole it.
You
but
took
I
it.
had the habit of, like, when I'm leaving home, I just need put it for something. Just in case you're just in case you're in distress. Not that he doesn't, he thinks that you need it. Sometimes, living in the estate, like, you need to go and buy something and that particular thing you're short of. He's not sure of what's not available. So it's not now that I come to call him that, we didn't have this because of that. So he always kept that. And anytime he came, the body was on the say, it's good all day. But that was when I was doing my susu with that money. So it's so in line now. There's no bread. I've used the money to buy bread.
After all, you didn't spend it on yourself.
Thank you.
He also ate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
I took the credit.
Just to some.
And I took the credit. I think that God bless you.
Yeah.
I think that God bless you, Pa. Anyway, did moving out of your house actually affect your mental health? Mental health is big lately.
Yeah.
Did it affect your mental health? Like living alone, you're always by yourself, you're always thinking, I shouldn't have left.
So, I mean, just before I came here today, I was having a conversation with some colleagues, right? And most of the time, the bit of it that affects us the most is the finances. For example, you have to renew your rent.
Of course.
You have to pay utilities. Yeah. You probably have fees to pay if you happen to be in school again, right? By the time you do all these things and you don't have money, Charlie, that one alone is giving you mental health issues, right? You are going crazy in your mind. So I think if you take the finance bit out of it, I think the impact wasn't that much because I really enjoyed my space, actually. I enjoyed my privacy. I enjoyed being alone most of the time. So, yeah.
Okay, so what's the one thing you wish you knew before you moved out?
One thing.
You wish you, like, I wish I knew this before moving in. That was going to be tough. That's, But the excitement with, I'm moving out. I guess to go and come back at whatever
and get
time.
A shock of your life.
Now you move and say, huh?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew 2 years comes like
water.
Like 3 weeks. When you're done paying the rent. It comes so like a flash of light. No, 2 years has come. So I wish I knew that bit. I would have stayed longer.
In your mother's house.
Yeah. It comes like when you're the one to pay. It comes like my office space. I paid last year July. No, boom.
Another July.
Okay.
Right.
The surprise is it will not be the same too.
It goes up.
Yeah, most of the time it goes up more than 10%, more than 20%, like 30, 40%. I'm like, oh God, no. Maybe I should have actually looked for money and paid like 3 years or 4 years or 5 years.
Or you should have relaxed to, like,
Before.
save an amount of money, take your time, get the things that you like in bits before.
Exactly.
I think that's what people should know. I'm not in the right space to tell when it comes to house and renting, but for shops, I think you should take your time. Get the amount of money that is actually going to move you on for like 4 or 5 years. Take your time. There's no rush. I don't think there's any rush unless of course you're pressured to move out of your home. But if you're not, and it's by making your own decision to move, I think that you should take your time and put all the things together. Like, okay, I have a storage. I bought my bed, kakra. I bought my, like, as women do for the daughters when they're moving to marriage. So your mom is gonna in a nice way. Like, you have a popcorn maker, you have rice cooker, you get what I'm saying?
You see, I remember. See, the other time I picked a glass, and I mean I was serving wasn't made juice, right? And I was telling my wife that, see, I remember when my mother was like, buy this thing, just keep it. Just buy this thing, just keep it. And honestly, I'm not used to buying stuff like that. No, I spend on many other things. But my mom will, oh, no, buy this thing. Oh, buy this thing. Buy this thing. So by the time I knew, I got a few things here and there. So when I was moving, some of the things I moved with it. So I think one of the advice you just gave is the best. See, looking at how prices of things are skyrocketing in Ghana, if you have the money, if you buy this sofa, or if there is space, there's money, buy as many as,
the
things that you
essential
can.
things that you can move out
especially ones that will not expire.
Right, not like perishable
like hardware,
goods,
right? Yeah, so that when it's time for you to move, you don't need to spend, because a television that probably used to be 2,500 cedis, currently you need about 6,000-7,000 cedis to buy.
Exactly.
An LG or any of them. So I think if you have the money, you have the space, buy as much hardware before you as you can before
because
you move.
You've moved into rent. Now for the older form, you've moved into a new building and you're sitting on the floor, you're shouting at people.
We didn't send you.
When you wake up in the morning, you come to work, you understand
we didn't send you.
Did we send you?
We didn't.
Hey, let me say take some this one. Say, hey, be here. Who sent you?
We didn't send
so take your time. You can buy the mattress and put it on the bed that you're sleeping on now. But without taking the plastic or anything out of it. Then you buy a little sofa. You buy the thing like women. That's what I'm saying. My mom would say you need a lot of fabric because you may never know. Like, that mentality is still there. So anytime you go to town, you buy 6 yards, 12 yards. You buy something. That's nice. It never runs out. Like, it never runs out of style because they say fashion keeps coming back. Because you might have an old fabric, but now it's in style. And then, so with the papa makers, they were plenty. They don't have any popcorn. But we bought it anyway. Like by your spoons, your cutlery, and all of these things. You just need to buy them. And before you go out to rent, don't do nya, I beg you. Don't do nya. So is there anything that you want someone to know who is like, planning to go out and rent? Like take it easy. Like let's put the points out. Yeah.
So a little advice for my young brother or sister who wants to move out real quick. You must have a plan. Yeah. So for me, I told myself, this rent thing will kill me. I can't do this for long. And so, right after first, second year, I started planning on how to get myself off paying rent. Young man, young woman, I tell you, the day you stop paying rent, you be comfortable. At this point, you are just working for the landlord. You are just putting in all the effort. At the end of the second year, you carry everything and give to the landlord. And so let's put together plans.
Right.
So I'm renting for 5 years. At the end of the 5th year, I want to get A, B, C, D. You don't have to get it big. Something small. You have a little space in your daddy's house. Build a one bedroom.
If you can get a land. Lately, I know people are being paying in installments, right?
Yeah. So 5-6 young men, let's come together, get an acre of land, and we can divide it into smaller portions. And guys, let's get ourselves off paying rent, and we'll be fine.
Right.
We'll be fine. Something small. A small cubicle. Once you are off paying rent, I bet you'll be fine. So my
your advice is that one.
My small sister and brother, be careful.
Take it. Okay, so I've got a couple of messages. I'll take that, then we're done.
Okay.
I am a 41-year-old single lady. I live at home with my parents. Sometimes some friends ask me why don't I move out to get some privacy. My response, I get free rent, free food, free bed, free water, free electricity, and free transport sometimes because they give you a ride. Why should I move out to go and pay all of these? Emma from Swaha.
She's living large.
You see that? This is the mindset.
She's living large. See, no pressure from anybody. Be there and save. Don't mind anybody.
I'm not saying that for this to happen, but if mama kicks out, daddy kicks out, you be like lady. Wow. I lived with my grandmom since growing up in the Eastern region and still wanted to stay with her during my national service though. I was posted to Accra. Okay, so though I was posted to Accra, I wanted to change my posting due to lack of money for rent. But to my surprise, my grandmom called me one dawn and she told me she wants me to start living an independent life and learn how to manage. That's how I moved out. I really have a lot of renting experience to share, but let me pause here. This is Felix Ojobi from Somenya. My regards to the team, especially Kweno, my SSTS Gen.
Whoa.
That's you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, finally, from Akosia again. When I used to live with parents, I remember buying a new blender to replace the older one. My mom was very happy because she thought I was about to get married. Preparing for marriage thing. Said that you do a ZYZ. You do a
No.
I bet you have used that blender. What's another one says? All right, Alex, thank you so much for coming through. And I bet that we have taken one or two from these renting issues, right? And the government should actually come through because the renting situation is, looks like my viewers don't want me to go away. My laziness didn't allow me to move out. I love you. You're honest. My laziness didn't allow me to move out until the day I got married. Welcome to the club. Yeah, winners. I thank God for having parents that didn't pressure me to move out. This is Zakia. That's a female. Yeah. This is my squad. We ain't going nowhere. Thank you so much. We've been talking about rent, housing, and then moving out of your parents' house. I know it's a very heavy situation, but we've made it quite lighter so you understand all of these things. And it's stress data, no. Don't put a lot of things in your head, right, darling? So if this is what's going to make you, think things through, sit down, my darling, think. Make, like my friend here said, get a plan, okay? And then out of that plan, probably you're moving on to the next, because you can't be renting the entire time. No. You can't be renting all of your life. There should be a point where you're actually moving into your own space and you'll be proud of yourself. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Noyo Quarter, and thanks to my guest as well. I'll be back tomorrow same time. It has been the Friends and Family Show. You know, I always love you for you being on the other side. I'll be back tomorrow. My love always. Mwah.
Where politics meets power, where the tough questions are asked. Welcome to Face to Face. Every Tuesday at 9 p.m., join Umaru Sanda Amadu as he takes you face to face with the key players shaping the future of our nation.
I lost over $10 million at the trade fair.
You had a fight with the management of trade fair?
I don't have a fight with them. I just deplore the way they went about what they did.
Let's talk about the chief prosecutor of the state at the time that you were being prosecuted, Godfrey Adame, the Attorney General.
Yes. I think he was directed to jailers.
By who?
By the system.
Baku has been a failure for your government, though.
Can't be a failure.
You have not solved it.
No, you are not praising them, the previous government for solving Yendi, which was even a more difficult case.
It's quite obvious that from these votes, the people felt that let's just let you go.
So they were disappointed in
us.
You are essentially the worst government in the Fourth Republic.
I don't know how you are doing that. Based on the indicators.
Yes, based on the number of people who refuse to come and vote for you.
If that is your analysis, then why not?
No filter, no boundaries, just the truth behind the headlines. Deep, bold, and unflinching. Face to Face with Umaru Sanda Amadu airs on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV, where politics gets real.
Curious about what's happening beyond your borders? Beyond Borders takes you there. Every Wednesday at 7 p.m., join Caleb Kudo as he explores the stories that shape our world, connecting you with Ghanaians in other cultures and seeing the world through their eyes.
So we've learned one thing: you leave your shoes outside. Wow.
Tuesdays, I won't go to Ghana dressed in a Lacoste.
As director of operations.
From international politics to the human stories that define nations, Beyond Borders brings you a fresh perspective of Ghanaians around the world, one conversation at a time. Beyond Borders with Caleb Kuda airs Wednesdays at 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.